Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel today. For those of you that are new here, my name is Kim and I am a retired part-time teacher working and living in Japan. In this playlist, we are comparing city life versus country life if you're living in Japan. In the first segment, I compared the cost of living in the city and in the country, and I came to the conclusion that I think the cost of living in the countryside is better. But that's my opinion. Now, let's go to number 2, accessibility, because that kind of plays into the cost of living. You don't have to be a genius to know that certain prefectures are going to be more accessible than others to things like the airport or to different events. Getting to and from the airport can be costly or time-consuming. Most of the Chugoku area, like Tottori, Hiroshima, Okayama, any of those areas, it would be easier to get to Kansai Airport. Back in the day, we had a lot more flights going internationally out of Kansai, and from Los Angeles, it was just easier to fly into Kansai. But at the very beginning, in 1988, Kansai Airport wasn't around yet, so I had to fly out either Haneda or Narita. And Narita, as you know, is quite far from even the center of Tokyo. So you'd have to usually take a train. If I needed to get to Tokyo in a hurry, I would fly from Tottori to Tokyo, but it would take me to Haneda, and then I'd have to get a limousine bus from Haneda to Narita. I've also done where I would go to from Tottori to Tokyo by either train or overnight bus, and then I'd have to take another train to get to Narita Airport. Limousine buses are all over the place, but usually certain areas like Tottori doesn't have a limousine bus that goes directly from Tottori Station to Haneda Airport or even Kansai Airport. Other prefectures that are in the rural areas, it's the same thing. You have to kind of take different trains to get to the airport. And it can be a little bit inconvenient, especially if those times don't coincide with your train times. Many a time I stay overnight at the airport at a cheap airport hotel just because I don't want to spend the whole day traveling by train, by plane, and then getting to my destination and being totally exhausted. But I had done that in the past. Even just the accessibility of getting from a rural area into like a little city, maybe the center of your prefecture, the town center, or the hub of where all the transportation is to get out of the prefecture, can be a little bit more difficult, especially, once again, buses don't run like every 10 minutes as they do in most of the city areas. Sometimes you'd have to plan out your trips and be so stressful trying to make all your connections. Living in the city or a bigger city, obviously you're going to have a lot more things or transportation systems available to get to the airports. I can go down to one of my neighborhood stations and catch an airport limousine bus that goes directly from this station to Haneda Airport or to Narita Airport. I can take the trains. I can drive to the airport. One thing I would advise against doing is taxis are not exactly economical if you're going far distances. However, they can be really good ways to get around within a prefecture, within like a small area. Both places, the countrysides and cities, have taxis readily available. However, that being said, in small country areas, sometimes you might have to wait, especially when it's bad weather or a busy time, there won't be as many taxis as there might be in the city areas. The other thing that's really nice is that big cities just have more buses and trains that run quickly or have shorter time intervals. So even when I go from where I live now in Yokohama to Tokyo or to Yokohama City, or even just when I go back to Shizuoka, if I miss a connection, I can always find another way to get there on time. So for example, I still go to Shizuoka for my hair, and lately I've been going by Shinkansen. That's another plus about living in the city or living in an area where they have a Shinkansen line. It makes it really easy to get to your destination quickly. But let's say, for example, a train is down, or maybe it's delayed, or maybe, let's say maybe something you miss your one train. You can always find another way to get to your destination. You may be a little bit late, but usually there's a lot more options. Whereas if you're living in the countryside and you miss that one train that goes into the city, you probably aren't going to be able to find another connection, or you're not going to be able to juggle things as easily as you would in a bigger city. So my vote for, if you're someone that accessibility is a key factor, the city is definitely better. Okay, next, number 3, I had shopping and eating.